England have their man. Thomas Tuchel has been announced as the new England manager, becoming the first German and only the third foreigner to take charge of the Three Lions. But should we really be bothered about his nationality, and will he finally help to bring football home again? That, plus the backlash following Jonas Eidevall's departure from the Emirates and Nuno Espirito Santo's ridiculous suspension, today on the Press Box. Yes, hello, welcome to the Press Box, welcome back to the Woodwork channel, and today we're going to talk all about Thomas Tuchel. We've got some star-studded guests today, starting with Axel, our new co-presenter.
Hello,
fresh
guys.
From scoring a hat-trick for the UCFB first team.
Yep.
You okay?
3 goals, 2 assists.
Make sure you get that in.
2 assists.
Good stuff. We've got Jordan as well, who's going to join us as our researcher every week. How are you doing?
I'm good, how are you?
Good, thank you, mate. And then we've got 2 steamed England fans joining us today. Both went to the Euros this summer. Luca and Connor, how are you guys?
Very well. Still recovering a bit from Helsinki at the weekend, but we move.
Are you just getting that in there that you went, yeah?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Big flex.
Connor?
I'm not too bad, thank you, mate.
Right,
yeah.
before we get into Tuchel and stuff, let's talk about your experience as England fans. Do you want to give us a little flavour of where you've been, where you followed England?
Yeah, so I started following England right after the Euros final at Wembley. So I was kind of bought into the whole Southgate movement, really. Signed up for the Travellers Club and started going to away games from there. Built up my caps so that for the Euros in Germany I could go to pretty much any game I wanted. Ended up going to 2 group stage games because I couldn't afford the first one. Stayed at home for the round of 16 and quarterfinals, which is probably wise because I might have had a heart attack watching both those games. And flew out for the semi, which was without a shadow of doubt the best game I've ever watched in my life. That Watkins winner at the end, and then obviously from there got a ticket for the final, and yeah, it wasn't meant to be, but I can say that I was there.
So it was your first ever tournament?
Yeah.
In England?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Connor?
Heartbreak.
Similar?
Started 2010.
Ooh, wow, look at that.
Regularly since. Didn't join the supporters club properly since after the Qatar World Cup. That's when I knew I wanted to do the away games. Went to Scotland away, which is always good to beat them. And yeah, group stage in Germany, which is just incredible.
Did you just do the groups then this summer?
Group stage this summer.
So what's your best England memory then? Lucas's semi-final.
Big heartbreak, that.
It's tough. There's for me, like the Scotland one was actually big. I don't know, for me, first away game.
First time you've been to Scotland.
Stick
Yeah.
getting
Were you there as well?
I wasn't actually. I went to, was it Malta that we had, I think 3 days before that. So I stayed over there for a holiday.
No,
so.
fair enough. You can accept that.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, I don't know what you guys' thoughts are on Southgate, but I know you two were very strong into Southgate and his favour. So do you think Southgate should still be the manager even though we've got Tuchel?
I don't think he should still be there, to be honest. I mean, the consensus was at the Euros that was going to be his last.
Either way.
Yeah.
If he'd won, that would have been amazing. But if he'd lost, he's kind of done everything that he needs to do. There's that new crop of players that have come in that aren't really Southgate players, you could say.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I think you could tell in Germany, the people you speak to, the fans in the bars, the general feeling even before we kicked the ball was this was the last tournament. For me, I still think he's the most qualified Englishman.
Oh, you would have kept him?
To be English manager. Maybe not kept him.
It looks like you would.
It sounds like you would.
I think maybe there's one more tournament in there, but I think as an Englishman, he's the most qualified. But
I think it just got a bit too toxic.
Yeah.
Especially the fans involved. I mean, it's not really my opinion, but people just...
Well, it wasn't really the opinion of match-going fans, but the sounds of it was the outside.
You saw the support out in Germany. Everyone hailed him as a lord.
Jordan, were you a Southgate fan?
It's difficult. I liked him. He was a good manager. But at the end of the day, I think he had his opportunities, and unfortunately, we didn't take them. So I do think it's time to move on for something new now.
Axel?
Nah, me personally, I'm too cool all the way. I think with Southgate, he did what he could. You know, he's had 3 opportunities, gone to the finals each and every time, which is quite good. But I just don't think he quite had what it took to take it over the line. And I think now that's what England need, and they found that with Tuchel.
Yeah, I definitely think Tuchel's the right appointment, 100%. I want to hear what you guys think. Obviously, the media haven't really been a fan of it. They've tried to twist it and be racist and things like that.
I think the media reaction is quite disgraceful, to be honest.
Agreed.
But
Well, that Telegraph guy that put an article 3 days before saying we want Pep.
Yeah.
When we had Tuchel, suddenly we can't have a foreign manager. I mean, you need to make your mind up.
I mean, I feel like Tuchel's the best manager that we could have got, full stop.
Yeah,
Like,
especially what's in the market right now.
I'm
for
surprised that even England have managed to
Yeah,
put him
yeah.
in. And I don't know, I feel like he's played it quite well with an 18-month contract.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that ties into the end of the World Cup, doesn't it?
Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much, yeah. I think if you look at any job at any level, whether it be Pep leaving City, Ancelotti leaving Real Madrid, Tuchel would have been in the conversation for all of
them.
those
Oh, yeah.
jobs. So to get a manager at that pedigree in international football, because look at who manages international football now. It's either like Southgate, managers that come through the academy, or it's washed managers like Mancini who haven't got anything else to do, or Poch who's looking for something different to do, Martinez at Portugal. Like, now we've got a man who's at the prime of his managerial prowess. He's still got stuff to prove in England and to people that, he's won some trophies, hasn't he? But he's not won everything he'd want to be. So, Connor, what are your thoughts on it?
I'm really happy with it.
Yeah.
I think if Southgate had to go, we've done really well, mainly with his record in big knockout games.
Facts.
Yeah.
With Chelsea especially.
Mhm.
I mean, he beat Guardiola in a Champions League final
Yeah.
and an FA Cup semi-final in one season. So in big knockout games, which is what tournament football come down to.
And that forward line, he had what? Werner, Mount, and Havertz the front three, and won the Champions League.
I still can't
mean,
believe he won the Champions League
I
with that
know.
team. Yeah.
And Pep
good
didn't manage
manager,
that
man.
final very well.
I think he's the only manager to beat Pep 3 times, like in a season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that shows. I mean, he was against Mourinho for a while at Real
Exactly.
Madrid.
Yeah.
He's some pedigree. Now, what about the fact that the FA have rushed into it, because there wasn't really much talk about it before Greece, and then suddenly Greece happened and everybody kicked off. Do you think the FA have rushed into it, or do you think this was always under?
I don't think the FA have rushed into
Nah.
it, because if you listen to Carsley's conference after the Greece game, and he says, I don't know the words exactly, but it was along the lines of hopefully.
Yeah, you
I
can
go
kind
back
of
to the
tell
under-21s."
that he
must have known by then that he was getting replaced, and the fact that it was done so quickly, Tuchel must have been in talks with them for a while beforehand.
I think I disagree. I think
Really?
the Greece game had a bit of an impact because Tuchel was out there after the summer.
Yeah.
I think if you asked the FA, the plan would have been to keep it in house and give Carsley the job full time.
Yeah.
So
that would have been.
So
the
you
plan.
think if England beat Greece, Carsley stays?
I actually think there's a good chance.
Fair enough.
I think not just because we lost, but we lost bad.
Yeah, to be
It's
fair.
one of the worst I've seen England play.
And that
Set
interview
up.
that he said after the game that he tried it for 20 minutes in training.
He hasn't been able to answer a question.
Yeah.
Carsley is a straightforward question. I think Southgate was so good with the media, and despite his criticism towards the end, 8 years as England manager with the way our media is.
That takes some doing.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
testament to his
definitely.
character.
Southgate
so
knew how to do that completely, didn't he?
Yeah, I think this is something you only notice once he's gone as well. 'cause
Yeah.
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 I think one thing to say about Tuchel is, will his personality kind of overshadow
Yeah, I
actual
get what you're
England
saying.
job
Yeah,
itself,
being
'cause-
Thomas Tuchel.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
Southgate, he wasn't really a very well-known coach. Obviously, he was known as an England player that missed a penalty in '96, and then he's come into the England job through the under-21s, same route as what Carsley would have done. And I was a big supporter of keeping Carsley in,
Yeah.
to be perfectly honest. But
As
Southgate-
manager,
yeah,
really?
I mean, until this international break, I'd say,
Yeah.
because the way he deals with the press is just won't work.
And you think?
ever.
Do you think that's key for an England manager more than like a club coach? Do you think that's vital?
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely, yeah.
Why?
Well, yeah, where?
Because I don't think there's a single job in management that's more scrutinised than the England national team.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think there is.
It's like when Gary Neville says that thing about Man United goalkeepers the most scrutinised position in football. I think England coach.
Yeah, I think that slightly
Too far.
bypasses it. Yeah.
So what about him not being English then? Because you look at the English candidates. There was Eddie Howe. Eddie Howe's not been considered, but there isn't any English managers. So have you guys got an issue with that? Do you think England fans will have an issue with that, or is that something that we can get over quite easily?
Do you want to go first?
I think if you got to sign an England manager, we'd pick him to be English.
Yeah.
But there's not an English manager out there
Hmm.
of the level. There's an expectation that England should be winning tournaments.
Yeah.
And Tuchel's the best man.
I think
do that.
Tuchel's the best man. But you see Premier League fans, if you ask a Premier League fan who they wanted to take over their club, probably wouldn't tell you an English manager.
Yeah.
So there's sort of expectation that we don't want the English managers managing our top clubs, but they've got to take our team to the World Cup. I don't think.
Well, I don't think I asked you this the other day, but do you know the last English manager to win a domestic trophy? So FA Cup, Prem, or Carabao Cup? I have a guess when that was.
I know it, but I won't answer.
The last English manager to do that, to win any of them tournaments.
Thinking maybe was it Portsmouth?
Yeah.
Harry
Redknapp,
Redknapp.
2008.
Yeah.
So what's that? 14 years. So that's 42 tournaments that an English manager hasn't won a thing. You know that the Premier League, no English manager's ever won the Prem. It's Scots, it's Portuguese, it's Spaniards.
German.
So it's not new news, is it, that there isn't any England managers that are really up to the job? And you look at, I mean, Eddie Howe was everyone's favourite if they're going to have an England manager, but he's not done that before. And I know Southgate hadn't, but it's a big step up in it. And I don't know whether
Eddie
he
Howe
could
would
have.
definitely not
The
be my
context-
favourite for.
No.
Yeah, I think so.
He wasn't even.
Would you
in
give
the-
it Kazu then as an English? I know he's not English
I
technically,
mean,
but
he's as English as he could be.
yeah.
Perfectly honest.
Token.
Yeah, he'd be the one. I mean, Potter doesn't have the
No.
media balls.
yeah.
To put it
And can his
bluntly.
football really work at international level?
I think it could, but you got to separate the man from the job as well.
Yeah.
And I don't think he'd be able to hack it.
I think the character side's important because the
Yeah.
England squad's so different. So when Gareth came in, he done brilliant, by the way.
Yeah.
Building the reputation of English coaches and
back up.
English players back up. But now we're at a point, well, you think when Southgate came in, who is Chelsea's star player? You had Hazard. Now it's Cole Palmer.
Yeah.
Arsenal had Alexis Sanchez, Santi Cazorla. They've got Rice and Saka now.
Yeah.
City, they lost De Bruyne and Haaland last year. And Phil Foden drags them through games. Jude Bellingham's at Real Madrid. So you've got big characters in there now. And I just think Kazi coming from the 21s.
Does he command? Whereas Tuchel walks in and commands
Tuchel
respect
comes
of
in,
everybody
he's
straight
a
away,
Champions
doesn't he?
League winner.
I don't
And-
know, you know.
Do you not think?
Because, not to take away from Kazi, he's a very good manager, even in the 21s. I think, what, did he win the World Cup without
Yeah.
conceding a single goal?
Morgan Gibbs White captain.
Do you know what I mean? Like, that's not a small
Shameless
feat.
Forest plug.
He had a very
Always.
Premier League heavy squad though.
Yeah,
That
but
won the 21s tournament.
but so did England.
Mm.
Don't they?
Yeah.
I mean,
So-
he used a lot of those players from that World Cup in his first two England squads.
Yeah. Like Angel Gomez, who
Yeah.
I thought actually played. I was impressed
he
with
was
Angel
really
I
good
Gomez.
too,
I
so.
thought he'd fallen off the face of the earth, and suddenly he's in the England squad and he's playing really well.
No, he's always been good.
Especially,
Yeah.
I went to the Finland game. I thought he played really well there, and he allows Rice to get a bit more forward, doesn't he? Because Rice normally has to sit and be a 6,
Mhm.
which is not Connor. Not the best at. You're frowning.
Not convinced.
Aye.
I think we've got an issue in our midfield.
Yeah.
You
To
think?
be honest, I think
Well, I think we need to play Rice further forward.
we haven't
but there's
replaced
no one to be
we
a
haven't
6.
replaced Calvin Phillips. That's the reality. What
Who's
he's,
there to replace him though?
that's the problem.
That's the gap.
I think that's where the formation is shifted under Tuchel.
Now
I think
that
Tuchel
Calvin
sorts
Phillips
that out,
thing.
man.
Hey?
I think Tuchel sorts out that problem.
Yeah.
I think
But with who though?
with a back three.
Back three.
Do you think he'll play back through?
That's what he. I mean, did he do it at Bayern? I don't think he did he? But
No.
that
He did at
seems to be
times,
his
but-
that's his favourite.
Especially
thing.
for tournament football.
Yeah. And that
That's what he
might
did at Chelsea.
indicate Bellingham, like Foden, Palmer in the same squad maybe.
But
if he
it doesn't
can do
work.
that.
It
But
just doesn't work.
Nah,
Depends
he'll
if we'll
make
find
it
a way.
work.
We haven't
I
seen it
promise
with a
he'll
back
make it
three.
work.
Maybe with a back three.
I can't be convinced that it will ever work.
Well, I know you've got
'Cause
thoughts about him being
I agree,
German,
but-
so let's hear them.
It's not him being German. It's just I feel like in international football there should be a rule that the nation should be managed by someone from that nation.
England wouldn't win anything, though.
Yeah, they wouldn't. Which is a shame that we have such poor managers.
The
at moment.
Lioness's manager's Dutch.
Yeah,
And we've
and
been
she's the most
successful.
successful
That's very
ever
true.
England manager,
That's
isn't
very
she?
true. But if you look at, I think it's been 20 years since England have been in a major tournament, so Euros and World Cup.
Yeah.
It's been 20 years since someone that isn't of that nation as a manager that's won the tournament. And
Yeah,
that
but
was for Greece.
But you've got to proportionalise it because there isn't many foreign coaches, is there? It's not like every other international side has a foreign coach. Most nations have a coach of that nation, so I don't know if that's that comparable, really.
Yeah, and it normally works that they're from that nation.
But do you think there's an identity issue there then? With England, we've opened our league up. Our league's the best league in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Influence from Europe and worldwide is huge. The sacrifice that we had to make as English coaches on at the forefront.
Yeah, I mean you can go very deep into this and say people getting into management it's harder than
Yeah.
ever in this country, especially from even a grassroots level.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
also you see managers from the Championship, for example, the last season Rossignol he got sacked by Hull, didn't he?
Mm.
And now he's out managing in France and he's doing really well.
Yeah.
So
And like you look at how difficult it is for managers to even get the coaching badges these days. Like I know you're a coach, Connor.
Yeah.
This country, it seems so much more expensive and more difficult than other countries to get your FA licenses. Do you want to give us an insight into that?
It is a lot more expensive. I saw something yesterday that our pro license compared to the Spanish FA's, like almost 5 times the amount.
Really?
How much do you have to pay?
Yeah, I think it's around 13,000
13 grand.
to do your
Wow.
pro. But
That's out.
there's
I
not.
mean,
There's not. People will do it, and I've worked with
yeah.
at Chelsea. I've worked with some brilliant coaches who have left because the money's not there. The way you're treated isn't
And-
great across the board at many clubs.
Yeah.
And then coaches go and work in schools.
Yeah.
And there's no
Well,
coaches.
that's such
in
a
the game.
big investment, and to make a return on that is
It's
not
very
easy.
difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, very hard.
And do you think even like you look at League One, League Two, National League, it's so competitive in this country, maybe more than if you go to Spain, if you go to France. So there isn't really that chance for managers to develop. Is that something?
I don't know.
I feel like they will have the chance to
Yeah.
develop because it's that
Yeah.
competitive. If you look at McKenna at
Yeah.
Ipswich,
Yeah, there's space
Yeah.
for everyone now.
Yeah.
he's
Like-
gone from League One to Prem, and I mean Ipswich haven't started brilliantly, but I think they'll stay up. But
Yeah. Oh, I do actually. I
Mm.
think they'll have enough to get over the line.
Yeah.
So England going forward, then, do you think Tuchel makes us favourites for the World Cup?
Yes.
Categorically.
I
mean,
think,
we are. I think we are now, aren't we? Like with the
We've been-
bookies.
I think we've been favourite for the last
I
3
think
major tournaments. haven't we?
England has had everything in terms of talent, skill, technical ability for a very long time now. They were just missing something. I think Tuchel was the thing that they were missing
Yeah.
to carry them over the line.
Because he's basically sculpted for tournaments. I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah.
Like I mentioned, he won that thing with Chelsea. That's what he does. He brings the best out of a group of players. I think he's
That's
adaptable
literally it.
as well.
Like, if you look at from when he was at Bayern, Dortmund, even PSG, he unlocks teams.
Yeah.
If you give him the chance, if you back him, he really does well with teams. Like PSG, I think Neymar had the best season in that COVID season that he had since leaving Barcelona. Literally let him do his thing, brought in centre mids that was more tackling, more gritty, allowed Neymar to do his thing. He had the best season. Harry Kane under Tuchel,
Yeah.
I think he scored what,
That's his most
45 goals in
Yeah.
44 games. Borussia Dortmund, I think Mkhitaryan had 23 goals and 32 assists.
Yeah.
Like,
Does it not worry you how like abruptly his times at clubs end though? Because
Yeah.
at Chelsea, I don't think he should have been sacked.
No. But is that on Tuchel though?
yeah,
But
that's
that,
what I'm
that,
saying.
That was very much. I
Yeah,
think
but if
the
that's
new
that's
owners
just
coming
one
in.
time. But
He
Yeah.
has
Bayern,
fallen out
Bayern a
with
similar thing
everyone.
happened.
Yeah.
PSG, I know he fell out with the board.
Yeah, but I think this is like unique circumstances with
But it's
Bayern.
happened
Yeah.
3 times.
With Bayern
But
though,
clubs are different.
do you
as
know
well.
what I mean? Like, things happen. I think if England give him a chance, if you give him a chance to actually just do what he needs to
Yeah.
do, with the amount of players he's got, the talent of players he's got, he's probably licking his lips at home thinking, I'm going to do this, this and that. I think he genuinely just takes England over the line.
And the short contract, surely that's his goal. That's
Yeah,
everybody's goal.
Just
So-
to win.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the time that he's got to do
It's
it.
a bit
club-
strange that he's only starting in January.
Well, where do you think it should
I
have
mean,
gave him
if
straight
if
away?
they're
do you
going to
think?
announce him, he
Yeah,
may as well
yeah.
just get cracking straight away.
I suppose they want to give Carsley. He started it.
I
he
think
might as well
they've
finish
Yeah,
they
it.
might as
promised
well
him
finish
6 games. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure.
But it's like, what's the point at this?
Yeah, no, it's not great. It's not great, is it?
My
Right.
worry with the short contract, sorry, you just
No, go on.
mentioned it, is we've got home Euros coming up after it.
Yeah. So then you've got this whole
For me, that's
cycle
the
again,
big
isn't
one.
it?
That's the big, because
That's what we've got to aim for. Yeah.
I'm as big as England fan I am. I don't think there's this God-given right we should win major tournaments.
No,
I think a
definitely.
semi-finals are a really good
Mm.
tournament for England, even with the squad we've got now.
Yeah.
But the home Euros, after the last couple of Euros,
Yeah.
you're going to want it. And
They'll have to renew that contract then.
I mean, it's all on the World Cup, isn't it? If
Yeah.
he does well, then he'll get more time.
And do you think the FA is better or worse to handle than clubs? Because he's fell out with clubs, like you mentioned. How do you think he'll get on with the FA? Because he's had a lot of love from them. Even the FA chief executive did a press conference with him.
Yeah.
So I think he likes to be loved.
Yeah.
And he's got that at the minute. He's handled the media really well, but
my worry is not the FA, it'll be the players.
you think?
You think the
think-
players won't like him?
He's fallen out with players, he fell out with players
True.
at Bayern. I think
Yeah.
Goretzka, Kimmich early on. I just think we've got, as I mentioned earlier, we've got players that are in roles that we haven't had English players in at top
Yeah.
clubs for a long time.
There's a lot of big personalities. isn't
There's
there?
going to be a
Yeah.
couple that miss out
Yeah.
and probably don't think they should be, and it'll be interesting
Especially
how
if
he
it's about to
handles
be in
that.
23 man rather than 26, which I think they're talking about. So in terms of setup, then, do you think back? Like, how do you?
Are we
would
making
you
11 now?
Yeah, we'll make a little 11.
Okay.
So how do you envisage? Do you think back? I mean, you love the back three. I know you love Phillips, Rice, back three, and then the front three of Sterling, Rashford, and Kane. I know you love that. Do you
Yeah.
want Tuchel to go back to that, or do you think this Euros, this formation, Mainu with Rice works?
we've used a back three in 3 of the 4 tournaments under Gareth.
Yeah.
So it was something we went to when we felt was in trouble, really.
Yeah.
I think you look at the skill set that Trent Alexander-Arnold has, the lack of a clear left back.
Yeah.
I think we can use a back three to then help us further up the pitch. You could play Jude next to Rice, and then a front three of Foden, Kane, Palmer potentially.
Do you think Jude next to Rice can work? Is it? Because
I'm not sure.
Phillips made it work, like you mentioned, and we'll probably get a lot of hate for saying that. But I think Calvin Phillips, you can't underestimate the role he did for a couple of years for England.
Yeah. Sure.
And we haven't found someone to replace him, so Rice has had to take that on his own. And I don't know whether Bellingham can do the Phillips role.
That was definitely one of the most misinterpreted things that Gareth said. Was we haven't really replaced Phillips.
Yeah.
A lot of people thought, is he saying that we need
bring him
Calvin
back.
Phillips
Yeah,
back? We need a player that played his role, and we just don't have that at the moment.
Yeah. Could Mainu fall into that, or
He's
more of a
think it'd be a
dribbler,
bit
isn't
different.
I don't think it's his game.
Yeah, I think it'd be different. He's solid defensively as well, but
he's still got a lot of time to progress as well.
Yeah.
Like this time last year, I don't think many people would have heard of Kobe Mainu.
No, exactly. And then he's
starting in a Euros final. Yeah. I don't think anyone would have expected that. So what is this lineup going to be then?
Go on then. Well, you two are the England fans. You two will be maybe in America. So give us together something you'd like to see under Tuchel.
We've got to stick with Pickford in goal.
Yeah,
I reckon.
No one's getting.
He'll be what, 34?
Yeah,
33?
Yeah, something like
one
that.
of the older.
And then obviously
Stones in the
Gahey.
centre.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah,
I like that.
Gahey,
I like that. I like that. Yeah.
Gahey's the definite.
Concert?
For me, if it's
I'm sticking with Maguire if he's still there.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Mine's.
Right centre back.
No, I think
2 years
I think
time.
Walker's going to be 36.
Walker's legs look gone already this
Yeah, they
season.
do.
I don't
Yeah,
think
but
he'll
in
be
the back three, I think I agree with you.
I have a
Maybe.
Do you not
Gahey's
think
not
left footer?
slow. He's not
Colwell,
slow.
left
I have a
footer?
hope that Reece James can stay fit and play his foot under Tuchel like he did
As a
before.
right centre back.
Right centre
Because he
back.
could be.
It's
He
not-
done that
he
role.
did, yeah,
He
because
done that
Arsenal
role.
put him
Yeah,
in
to be
swap,
fair.
didn't they?
He done that role,
Yeah.
but it's just keeping him
Isn't he
fit.
better for his attacking output than defensive?
Who, James?
Potentially, but I think.
Nah, arguably, it's both about the same, you know.
Would you have him in as a right centre back?
I think so. Yeah.
The thing is, it's been so
with
long
Trent
since
ahead
I've
of him.
seen him play consistent
Yeah.
football.
That's
Yeah,
the-
you
so you
can't
can't
rely
really
on it.
say.
I can't back
Yeah.
it at this point either.
Yeah, you
Like,
can't really
I
say.
mean, you might even bring Chilwell back.
We've got Colwell. You could
I
play
like the
Gahey
shout. I
on
like the
right
shout of
side.
Colwell. I do like the
Colwell,
shout.
yeah.
So you can play on the left and the right.
His
Yeah,
passing's
and
And then
ridiculous.
I like having at least a left footer in a back three,
Yeah.
especially, so you can go up that side.
Mhm.
The wing back, Saka. Wing
No.
back.
Yeah. I think it's gonna have to be.
Yeah.
I'm not putting Saka wing back.
As Saka's a left wing back for me.
Left wing back?
No.
With Trent.
Wow.
Oh, Trent and Saka can switch sides.
Do you not
Both
think
can
that's
play left
not
back.
enough defensive cover? Because I remember when Chelsea won the league in 17, wasn't it? And they had Moses and Alonso. They had one like defender and one winger, and they made it work. I
But-
don't know,
Trent is supposed to be that defender though.
but he's not. Is he? Come on.
Trent is very, very limited as a football player.
Yeah.
He's
I
good
can
at
hear Ellie
passing.
booing,
He's
shut
very good at passing. Physically, I watched him against Finland. He scored a great free kick.
Yeah.
Fair play to him.
But going forward.
The amount of duels that he lost against non-league players.
Oh my god.
Non-league players.
Oh my god.
Most of their attacks were coming down that right-hand side because Trent was playing left back.
Yeah.
Finland had, I think, 12 shots in the game.
Yeah.
That's criminal.
Yeah.
Absolutely criminal.
I do just think if we're playing a back three and we've got those attacking.
Yeah,
players
you've got
on
a bit
the
more
pitch,
defensive cover there.
We'll be on the ball.
Yeah.
I think we'll dominate the ball more than England teams probably.
Yeah, but
have done.
if we're playing Spain,
Yeah.
Germany, and we've got 4
the
defensive players
worry.
in the side,
I think I'd
That's
rather
when
have
you drop
Trent at
one.
that right wing back, apart from Saka. And then you look at players that maybe come through. You're looking at like a Leaf Davis. Potentially at
I
Ipswich.
really
That
like
is-
Leif Davis. Yeah.
That's it.
No,
I don't see it.
Not at that level.
Mitchell's
at
a no,
Palace,
no.
He's been on the brink for so long, but he's never really broke
I
through.
love Mitchell, man. He's so good.
Yeah.
I love him. I think he's quality.
Yeah.
But-
You're a Palace fan.
No.
I'm not sure if he's going to get there though.
Davis or Mitchell?
Mitchell, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think Davis got the most potential because of his. He's more like a. I'm not saying he's Reece James, but he can defend, he can go forward, and he's very balanced at both.
Yeah, because if you're going back to the Mainu point, there's going to be a player or 2 or 3 even that are going to come out of nowhere and be in that World Cup squad. You're looking
Wharton came out of
Yeah,
nowhere.
Wharton. I mean, Mainu as well.
But he quickly fell out the pecking order as well with Carsley. So as quick as someone can be in, they can be out.
Yeah.
Right. So who we go? So we got right back. Are you going Trent? Right wing back.
I'd go Trent. Right.
I'm
Left
going
wing back.
Trent. For
Leif
me, it's
Davis.
Saka.
Leif Davis. Middle. I mean, you mentioned Wharton. Obviously Rice. Who's next to him?
You're gonna have to say Jude, but I say that reluctantly.
Yeah.
As what role though is Jude playing?
Well, I'm thinking more with the back three of like the Kovacic and Kante role that Tuchel did under Chelsea.
But at that point, you just give Jude free roam.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Can
I
Rice
think
do it on his
that's
own?
best.
But that doesn't bring the best out of Rice, and I suppose that's what Tuchel's got to manage, isn't it?
Yeah, I feel like he can coach Rice into playing that role pretty well.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got the stamina for it, definitely.
His role has changed a lot though, Rice. So when he was with Phillips did the running. Phillips
Yeah.
carried the ball.
But if
Rice
you- yeah,
now is
for-
an 8, really.
Yeah.
For Arsenal, he runs a lot as well.
Yeah.
Especially, you've noticed with Odegaard out the team.
Yeah. He's
carries,
taken that,
He carries the ball
yeah.
forward a lot
Yeah.
as well.
and that's not something that England would put him under pressure with, I don't think.
No, not at all. I mean, he's obviously got to be in the 11.
And then front three, Kane, obviously.
Kane up top, and then I go Saka and Palmer.
I'm going Foden because Saka's my left wing back. So Foden, Kane.
Yeah,
and
that's
Palmer.
true. Yeah. So who's your extra player then?
In what? What do you mean?
Oh, yeah, you got
You
Foden
go
and Saka
Foden
at left
instead
wing
of
back. Yeah,
Palmer.
nice one. Do we agree with that, guys?
I'm
Jordan?
not sure about Saka. I think he's
What,
best
left
on
wing
the-
back, or you want him on the right?
I want him on the right.
So you agree with Lucas' team?
It's so hard.
On
There's
the right
so many
wing,
good players.
Saka
On the right wing, Saka.
Mm.
Yeah.
With the left, I'm gonna have to go Foden.
Yeah.
But where's Palmer? This is the only problem.
Palmer would be on the left for me.
It's so tricky.
Well, thanks for the segment, guys. Axel, do you want to... Any of your thoughts?
I'm trying to think. There's so much talent in the squad. I might even go back 4.
Back four. Ooh.
Back four does get all the attacking players.
This is what
It
I'm
does.
saying, especially on the
does.
Tuchel. Like, yeah, I don't think I'll go back 3.
Three things I'll add. One, Eric Dyer maybe coming back if he continues his form.
Yeah.
Happy to see you
Absolutely
happy
no
about
chance.
that.
No,
But,
No
thank
chance.
you.
and then the other two things, you two are not going to like this. Ryan Yates in midfield, Morgan Gibbs right attacking midfield.
This is
That's what
not
we
in
need
a
to do.
bias, bro.
We'll be back for segment 2, and we're going to have a little quiz that Jordan's going to do, so stay tuned for that. Hello and welcome back to segment 2. We've swapped around a bit and we've got a quiz coming up, and I'm going to hand over to Jordan, who's going to explain.
So, there are 16 questions for this broad English quiz, split into 2 teams. 8 questions each, but if you guys don't know the answer, pass it to the other team and see who gets the most.
So we've swapped, so we've got an England expert alongside me and Axel.
England
So
expert
it
is a
wouldn't quite be
stretch.
fair,
It's a big stretch.
So,
Yeah,
we'll
especially
go
for
with
you.
you guys to start.
Okay.
Okay, so on the 14th of June 2024, England lost the Euros final to Spain.
He was there.
I
so
was there.
Come on.
Can you name the starting 11?
The full starting 11.
Here we go.
Yeah, I reckon.
Right. Pickford.
Pickford. I want to see how far you get before you need some help.
Right. I'm going to say stuff and you're going to agree before we submit.
Okay.
Because I'm sure.
Yes.
Gahey.
Yes.
Stones.
Yes. I think.
Yeah, Stones.
Yeah.
Yeah, Stones. And
Don't help her.
who played? Oh, Walker.
Yeah,
right.
Walker's
We're going with
well
that. Yeah.
there. Yeah.
Rice. Bellingham. Did Mainu start the final?
Mainu did start.
Yeah, Mainu.
Mainu started.
Kane. Saka and Foden.
Yeah.
Are we submitting that?
Yeah.
That's our final
You guys
answer.
happy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you guys think? Correct?
Yeah.
Yep.
Well done,
Sam,
George.
is that 11 points?
That's 1.
1
Just the
point.
1 point.
Jordan.
Well, we got an England expert
We need to find a new
here.
researcher, guys.
Right. England have just announced Thomas Tuchel as a new head coach. Apart from Tuchel, the interim Carsley, and Southgate, can you name 4 other England managers to have ever managed England?
Reeve, Hodgson.
Quite easily.
Do you say Did
Yeah.
Don Revy manage it? Oh, yeah, he did, didn't
Did you?
Ramsey and
Capello.
Capello. That's 4.
Any more?
he? Just to keep
We're
going.
going
Sam
May as well.
Allardyce.
Yeah, we can go back for that.
Sam
Allardyce.
Allardyce.
Sam Allardyce.
Mm?
Water with a Brolly, McLaren,
Sven.
Winterbottom.
Winterbottom. Wow, that's a shot.
Sven Goran
Ramsey.
Yeah.
Can't forget Alf Ramsey. Won the World Cup.
Mm.
Yeah, well done, Connor.
1-1.
Just.
Just.
The Lionesses won their first ever Euros in 2022. In the final, who scored the winning goal?
Chloe
Chloe
Kelly,
Kelly.
wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Submitting.
Correct.
Yes.
But who scored the other goal?
Oh.
I know this.
Is this for extra points or just?
This is just
Is it
a
L-
little
is it L2?
retrieval.
I thought it was 1-0.
No, it's 2 now. 2-1.
2-1.
Out of 2.
I don't know, mate.
Out of 2. Come on! So is that,
Not that you get
that's
any
got to be a
points
bonus
for that.
point.
No.
But I just wanted
Jordan.
to
You
share
said
your
you said for a
knowledge.
bonus point.
No, I
I
said
heard
for
bonus point
Oh.
there. Mm.
2-1. Right.
Which sportswear company is the current kit maker for England?
Nike.
Oh wait,
Yeah.
Jordan, that is shocking. That is shocking.
2-2.
Wow.
This is right.
We should have got a bonus point after that.
Should have brought them last time.
Abysmal.
Who scored England's only goal in the Euro 2020 final?
Luke Shaw.
What minute was it?
Second minute?
Was it second or was it third? Or was it? No, it was 52 seconds, wasn't it? I thought it was 52
No,
seconds.
it was in the second minute, I want to say. Yeah.
Second minute then.
He's nodding.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Is that another bonus point? Or
No,
are we just
no,
doing
no.
that?
Well, I'll forgive you the exact,
trying to
the exact
squeeze in
minute
extra
and
points?
We
time,
need these
which I don't
bonus-
know.
I mean, what England kit?
Well, see if you guys are paying attention. In the 2018 World Cup, round of 16, who did England beat on penalties?
Colombia.
And who scored the winning goal?
The winning penalty. Eric Dyer.
Come on, Axel.
It was Eric Dyer.
I'm gonna let him handle it. I'm gonna let him handle it.
Eric Dyer's my boy, so.
Thought you'd know that one.
England played in red.
Oh, you know.
Is that a bonus point?
Mm.
Yerry Mina scored in that game.
Did he score what
Yeah.
in normal time?
Yeah.
I know David Sanchez scored a pen, didn't
Courty.
What's that? 3-3.
Mm.
he? Shouldn't be.
How many goals did England men's score in their biggest ever win of all time?
Is this us?
Of all time.
All time.
Oh, it was
1 to 11.
quite recent, I want
Yeah,
to
it was
say.
that. Was it San
It was
Marino?
one. It was like Montenegro or
Yeah,
This
It-
is
it
all
was very recent.
time,
All time.
including friendlies.
but it was.
yeah.
Unless did we win 14-0 somewhere? Am I making that up?
It could have been a San Marino
Yeah,
demolition job.
We'll just wait.
I think it's 12 or 14. I'll let you. You're the England fan, so I'll let you submit. I'm half
Honestly.
Ugandan, Ugandan, quarter South Sudanese. So I'm not involved.
Should we go Montenegro?
Oh, is it? Do you want the score or the
I
game?
want the score.
The score.
Montenegro 11-0.
Pass it to you guys.
Is that wrong then?
It is incorrect.
Luca, it's 12. I'm gonna come for you.
Yeah, go.
We're going to say 13. 13-0.
13 is correct.
Ooh, you know who was going to
Did
go
we
for your
concede
answer
one?
first?
Really?
No, it was 13-0.
It was.
It was in 1882.
Oh, blimey.
We battered.
Wow.
Yeah!
We battered Ireland. Fully blown.
What's that?
So
What's
is
that?
that our
4-3?
point?
4-3?
No,
Yeah.
it was the scoreline and the team. Though.
No, it was just a scoreline.
4-3. Okay, so now.
I
it's
don't
4-3
think they
is
were
back to us.
alive in 1882 to know that somehow.
Oh, well, we weren't either. So
I genuinely thought it was 11-0. Who's going
Were
to go
you,
say
Jordan?
11-0 as well?
No, I was not,
Mm.
but I still knew it. To the background.
Alright, then here we go.
Can you name at least 2 of the 3 artists who orchestrated the Three Lions
Oh,
song?
oh, please.
jeez. Who you got?
Lucky we've got
Huh?
a bonus
You know-
point.
Obviously,
Y-
it's your question.
Can I repeat, please?
Nah. it's
The
a
Three
repeat.
Lions song. Can you name 2 of the 3 artists?
Oh, the Three Lions song.
The song.
Oh yeah.
I think I could do.
Do you know him, Connor?
No.
What?
I know the group, but I couldn't tell you the individual.
What do you mean the group?
what do you mean, the group? Pass.
Go on.
Frank Skinner and David Baddiel.
Got them points
the
back
lightning
after that.
seeds.
4-4.
That's shocking.
Yeah, that's poor.
That's really bad.
But Connor shouldn't have that.
Music's not my thing.
Exactly. We're here for football, mate.
England songs are part of following England.
It is.
They really are.
Which lioness tops the England record goal scorer, scoring 52 goals in 113 appearances?
Ellen White. Ellen White, isn't it? Is that her name? Ellen White? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ellen
Definitely
White.
know that.
Do you guys agree?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Good
Light
collaboration
work.
there,
Light work.
George.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Five.
I'll pick up the women's questions and
5-4 to us.
5
Yeah.
to them, yeah. Okay.
Right. Can you name at least 6 English pundits who have been on Sky Sports within the last year?
Michael Richards.
Richards, Carragher,
Sturridge.
Sturridge.
We need one more, yeah.
Could say Izzy Christensen.
Izzy
Christensen. She played for the Lionesses. We counting the Lionesses.
Yeah, of course we
There
are.
we go.
6.
5-5.
Well done.
Very good. You could have
This is
had.
tight.
You said Carragher, didn't you? Redknapp,
Yeah.
Merson, Wright,
Including EFL.
Neville. Yeah.
Could have had.
Could have had
Gary-
anyone.
Yeah,
Could
exactly.
have had Joby McAnuff.
Yeah. Dean Ashton.
Oh, this is. Which ex-lioness entered Series 22 of I'm a Celebrity?
It's Jill Scott. Yeah.
You've got the easy ones, George.
By the way,
It's not
3 Lioness
nonsense.
questions. Where's their Lioness questions?
It's just how the
Come on.
It's how the
cookie crumbles.
It is.
Mm.
Well, it's crumbling in our favour. What's that?
6-5.
Yeah.
We're still
In-
on the serve.
Yeah.
In 2024,
Okay.
the England's men's national team ranks first for their squad value. How much does their whole squad cost?
Tough one. That's a really
Whoever
tough
gets
one.
closer wins.
Well, to the nearest what? Like just
1
To the exact
point
number.
or 2 point or 3 point something billion.
Jesus. Okay, if we're thinking of this logic,
What are we doing? Closest wins, yeah?
Yeah.
Unless they get it bang on.
We might just do a table tennis, see who gets close. See until someone gets it.
The
Okay.
whole squad, whole 23 man squad
Yep.
From
This
The Euro.
season.
from
so
2024.
the most recent
This
squad.
year's squad value.
So the most recent squad.
Yep.
So Morgan's in there, so that's at least
Oh,
5
come
billion.
No, that brings it down at least 100.
Yeah, but so who
What
was
did you
that
say?
one?
Because you got Palmer.
Yeah, you got a lot.
I'm always in there, but he withdrew.
Yeah, exactly.
Are we counting players that withdrew from the squad?
It's the whole squad, so yeah.
Okay.
I think you're around.
We are submitting
Mm.
1.2 billion.
Pass it over.
We were
thinking 1.3.
Pass it over.
We're just going to
We
keep
should keep
going up,
going up.
aren't we?
Can't be higher, can it? Wait, so how are we doing this? We have to hit it bang on.
Yep.
1.4 billion.
Before I say if it's correct, last chance.
That's how we just go for that, shall we?
Well,
This
it's
sounds a
definitely
bit
going to be
sly.
correct, isn't it?
1.4. We'll agree.
Nah, because we said it first. So if it's right, we
why
get the
would
point.
you say it
Correct.
if it's
Thank
correct?
you.
Oh,
That's
get it.
okay.
Correct.
It was like
That's
1.4 something, isn't it?
1.426.
Yeah, I would have gone for that.
Something
1.4.
ridiculous.
Whew,
And
okay.
then second is Spain with less than half.
Less than half.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Something was ridiculous. The England
So-
squad
So
value
we've
So-
got 1.4 billion. They've got
England,
less
England
than half,
inflation.
and we
it
still
is
haven't won anything.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah, but squad value is very different to what they'll
Yeah,
actually
yeah,
sell
yeah.
for, isn't
Yeah.
it?
English tax that.
Mm.
What's that? 6-6.
English tax, that's it. Yeah, 6 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah,
4
right.
questions No.
The first England game at the new Wembley Stadium was played in which year?
Well, 2006 Cup final, was it? Principality, wasn't it? I think it's 08,
Yeah.
7 or 8.
They have it on the walls in this building.
This building,
This
Yep.
building.
We don't pay attention to the walls.
I think it's
I always focus in my lectures. I'm not looking
Yeah,
at the
then we're
walls
not- yeah.
personally. But should we say 08?
8. Oh, 2008.
2008.
Pass it over.
Pass it over.
Get out.
2007.
Correct.
Yes. What's that?
Me,
Six,
me and Luke are
7,
good
6.
students.
Did you know that, or
Yeah,
did you
won't
just?
see us.
I've
Nah, yeah, we knew
anyway.
that.
Yeah,
My,
yeah.
I know someone with a shirt that has the embroidered in 2007.
Very well.
So
Very nice.
How many questions left?
3, is it?
3.
Yeah.
Okay, and it's R1 now.
No, not one wrong yet, apart from the billion one, which is a bit shady.
Got it on a technicality, that one.
Nearly as corrupt as the FA.
Oh my god.
Which England player was awarded the MBE in 2020?
Marcus Rashford, no? Are we submitting this or?
I'm confident.
Yeah. My final answer is Marcus Rashford.
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
He
So
nearly
just
got
saying-
you there. He nearly got you.
Seeing-
Nearly.
Scared me there. 8-6. How many questions left?
2.
So you need these two. Oh wait, you can't win.
We'll get them.
Well, you'll get the last one
We'll get
wrong, so.
We'll get 'em.
In the
Yeah.
Euro
Don't you worry.
2024 round of 16 match against Slovakia, Jude Bellingham
Painful.
scored a 95th minute bicycle kick to equalise before Harry Kane scored the winner.
Yeah.
So who's the assist?
What two-word phrase did Bellingham say straight to the camera?
Oh, I know this one. What did he say?
Christ.
Yeah.
I
We
got
got this.
play.
Pass it over.
I ain't got a clue.
Pass it
In
over.
fairness.
Oh, what did he say?
Ellie, can you help me?
I know
No.
that he got in some trouble after the game. But
Hmm.
This was iconic. This was his "I'm him" moment.
I swear
Clue.
it was something to do with like it's me or
He's him, bro.
yeah. It's like it's something me.
You just go. I don't know. Were you there?
No,
Okay. I don't.
I mean if I was there, I would have seen him
You
say
may as well
it.
have a guess.
Go on. I'll leave it to you. To this is shocking.
It's me. It's me.
Pass it
Go
over.
on.
Who else?
Who else?
Who
Is
else?
that
else?
what he did?
Who
Oh,
else?
Yeah.
What's that? 9-6.
And the last one.
Corrupt.
Okay.
This is worth
Yeah.
5 points.
Yeah.
Where do England's national team train?
St George's Park.
Come on. Right.
There's a
must be
favoured
wrong.
Looks like a
majority.
shame.
We're not coming back. Well, it's time to say goodbye to Luca and Connor. Thank you for joining us, guys. Have you enjoyed your first appearance on the press box?
Of course, hopefully first of many.
Really have.
And
Thank
last
you.
thing, are England going to win the World Cup in 26?
Absolutely.
Yeah, why not?
And
Let's
you
go
both
for
be
it.
there.
We'll be there.
In some form.
Excellent.
Probably in a RV.
Well, us three will still be here for episode, what we're doing, round 3, and we're going to talk about some news topics. Hello, welcome back to the press box and to our news topics segment where we're going to discuss Jonas Eidevall leaving Arsenal and the PGMOL's ridiculous assault at Nottingham Forest. But we'll start with Jonas Eidevall because it seems a bit early for a manager to get sacked or to leave a club, but it was on the horizon for a while. So we've got an Arsenal fan here now, Connor, and Ellie, the annoying voice from the gallery, has emerged into the studio. What are your thoughts on it, Connor?
I think it's kind of the best of both worlds. I think we got away with it a little bit because you can't sack a manager this early in the season, like you say, especially because the games we've lost was to Chelsea and Bayern Munich. So no matter how badly you play, you can't sack a manager for losing to 2 of the best teams in the world. But just in both of those games, and Everton the week before, that was a 0-0 draw with a team that's normally in the bottom half of the table. It was so poor. It just didn't look like there was much belief in a manager. And I think when you got a squad with as much capability as ours, you can't accept that. It's not good enough. And I think what probably would have happened, we would have had at least a couple of games before the international break, maybe a little bit of time afterwards. And then it would have just kept going and the season wouldn't have been salvageable. This way, if we can beat Vålerenga on Wednesday in the Champions League, which is good, and then we've got one game this week, then internationals, get through the West Ham game, and then we can kind of sort out the mess over the international break.
So you think you nipped in the bud early?
Yeah, I think so. Because he resigned, so we didn't have to sack him. There's no awkward conversation there. And I always feel like if you sack a manager and bring in a new one, they've got to do better. It's not good enough just to do
pressure,
the same. You know, there's a bit more pressure there. But where Jonas left, that kind of takes the choice away. You know, so whoever comes in, it makes it a little bit easier for them.
Less pressure.
A little bit less pressure.
Yeah.
If it is Renee Schlegers who's kind of taken over like temporary basis, it's her first job, so it kind of be like a little bit less pressure for her. She'd be able to find her feet. She'd maybe get that license for 5 or 6 weeks to settle in. And if it's an experienced manager, then it's a bonus either way. It gives them a little bit of time to get used to the job, I think.
Fair enough.
Hey, anything?
Kind of the same thing. I feel like it would have been a bit unfair to sack him after the games he's had because, like you said, losing to Chelsea, losing to Bayern, it's kind of not expected, but like you can't blame him. It can happen. Everton drawing, that was a shocking result, to be fair. They had 30 shots or something ridiculous.
That was a waste of 15.
But just no end result. So, I mean, they were playing decent. There's no finishing. Leicester only beat 1-0, so I guess you could argue they should be scoring more goals, but then again, they still took home the 3 points, so can you really argue with that? So he didn't have that many bad results, so I feel like it would have been unfair to sack him.
Yeah.
Maybe in a few games' time, if he had more poor results, like if they're playing West Ham on Sunday away, but West Ham are quite poor, so if they drew or lost against West Ham, then maybe fair enough. So I think this is kind of the best of both worlds, because Arsenal fans wanted him gone, whereas it also seems kind of harsh to sack him, so him leaving is kind of like both are happy, I guess.
Yeah.
How much do you think it is him leaving, or do you think there has been pressure from above for him to make that step?
Yeah, in the background.
Or do you think it is actually his decision?
We've always. Think back to Arsene Wenger, right? He was in the job maybe 2-3 years longer than he should have been, and it's the same people running both teams. So I think we've always been a little bit too shy to pull the trigger with a manager. And I think it would have gone on for longer than it should have done. It would have created a bit of unrest between our supporters. We've seen in the last couple of years all these attendance records we're setting at the Emirates, the amount of support we're getting for the team. We go to away games; they're basically home games. You have to listen to them. They've given us that support group have given us results that we had no right to get, but we get because we've got the best noise in the league. We've got the attendance is coming in not just for a Chelsea or a Manchester City, but even Everton the other week, it's 25,000.
Yeah,
that was the biggest attendance in England that weekend for a women's game. That's a huge thing for us to be able to have. And I think that's more valuable than keeping a manager who's not doing very well anyway.
And is it something that's festered from last season, from the end of last season? Because, like I mentioned at the top, it does seem a bit early for it to do that. And for the amount of, not hate, but the amount of fans that wanted him out, it seems like it might have been going on longer than just this season.
Yeah, it's difficult because we've had so many injury problems over the last couple of years, and I think it was kind of dividing the fan base a little bit, because obviously you've got some who demand success. We're the most successful women's club. We've won the Champions League. We've won several league titles. We need to be winning trophies, not just League Cup every year, winning big trophies. But then again, can you really blame a manager when we had all those players out injured? Miedemar, Beth Mead, these are our best players, our biggest contracts, and they're missing for a whole season, half a season. So when Jonas is preparing pre-season, this was the first season when he actually had a full squad, got 2-3 weeks into the season and still had that squad.
Yeah.
So I think for me personally, I never had a problem with him until the start of this season. We had the first couple of games. Even City was the first game, wasn't it? The Emirates, it was a draw. That was
some
okay.
tough games.
Good result.
But then it was the Leicester one. I think even though we did win it, we won it through an error. Then Everton, and it just all seemed to derail. Bayern Munich was embarrassing. We went there. That was awful. So I think it didn't seem like there was going to be any change to it. We played 3 different formations across the 5 games he took charge of this season.
When
None of them worked.
As a manager,
right
when you start.
When you start trying to get exactly that, because he's had the same sort of system that's worked for a while. If you're confident and if you really believe in what you're doing, whether that's as a manager or as a player, you're not going to change it. Yeah. Especially over 3-4 years. City last year in the Premier League, Manchester City, they went on a 4-game run where they didn't win a game. It's not like they changed anything, is it?
Yeah, no.
They kept it the same and they did all right. That's the kind of mentality of a strong manager, and I just don't think he had it.
I think talking about mentality, I think that's such a key thing. I think why he's left, because I think the players have just lost faith. They've lost hope. So there's people like Beth Mead, who in interviews and stuff, she just sounds run down. She doesn't sound like she has that kind of bubbliness anymore. They just seem like they've lost all their confidence. That's probably the right word to use.
Mm-hmm.
They don't seem to go at it as much as they used to. They used to love banging in loads of goals, winning 4-0, 5-0. They love that kind of thing, especially with the attacking depth they've got. But I just felt like before Jonas left, if they'd go behind against Bayern, then they just kind of get sloppy, and that's why they lost 5-2.
Yeah.
And I feel like that was happening regularly. So I'm kind of glad that he's gone.
Sorry, do you think anything's changed that's led to that though? Or do you think it's literally
I think it's
just
I think they've just lost confidence in their own manager, to be fair. Their players haven't really changed much over the last few seasons. They've had quite a lot of the same squad. So they have the confidence in each other, but just you need that leadership who you can trust to lead you to titles and cups and stuff.
Fair enough.
Looking at replacements then, I've had a look at the odds, and Casey Stoney, probably unsurprisingly, is the favourite ex-Man United, but then the 3 below are Jack Wilshere, Phil Neville and Ashley Cole. I think they're very different candidates, and there might be other people that are in the conversation as well. So who would you like to see take over?
I think Casey Stoney's obviously got the experience, and I think managing a women's team, I think that's massive, and Phil Neville does as well, but it's difficult because it depends how much of the fan base is sort of leaks over from the men's team. I don't think there are many. In fact, say if it was the Arsenal men, there's no question you can't have an ex-Man United player manager.
No,
But with the women, it's a little bit different. United have only been in the WSL for a few years. Yeah. So it's maybe I don't know. And obviously Phil Neville was really good as the England manager. He's worked with some of the squad like Leah Williamson, Beth Mead, so it could work. And Jack Wilshere, obviously, he's as Arsenal as anyone. Yeah. But again, more than anything else, maybe being a bit selfish, but I love the work he's doing with the 18s. To be honest,
I saw something about him potentially going to Norwich as well as an assistant coach.
I think it was because it was something in the summer. I think one of our coaching roles in the first team opened up, and it's rumoured that he wanted it. Yeah. So I think it's he's not throwing his toys out the pram or anything, but he's got to be realistic at the same time. He's been with the under-18s for a few years now, so if he wants to progress into coaching, doesn't really look like Arteta's going anywhere soon. So maybe women's football is something he does go into. Maybe that's a route that he takes. That's what Phil Neville did, isn't it? And it worked really well for him. But I wouldn't want a manager who's starting out with their first job.
So would it be Stoney or Neville for you, or?
Casey Stoney, I think she's a good pick. But I think the other thing you've got to consider as well is all the amazing coaches in the NWSL in the US, because it's so much more involved in the USA. There's a proper following. It's their main football league. The NWSL is as big, if not bigger, than the MLS. So I think there's that experience of the media exposure, someone who can really take the club to another level. But the problem is prying them away, because that is in the Premier League we're used to having this sort of this idea attraction. Yeah, exactly. Thank you. So if you get offered a job in the Premier League, you come. But I think in the WSL it's not quite like that, because you've got 3 or 4 really good teams at the top. Yeah. But then it's just not as competitive underneath.
Excellent. Anything to add, Ellie?
Well, I'm not an Arsenal fan, so I'm not really fussed. But I do think that having the the female assistant coach step up, a lot of the Arsenal fans particularly like that. I think they like having a woman rather than a man as their coach.
Yeah.
So I think the fan base would probably prefer if it was a girl.
Yeah.
But then if that's not the best option for them, then I don't think they'd mind either way.
Excellent. Right, we'll move on to the second news story, which I'm probably going
Your
to take the lead
favourite.
on.
Here we go.
It's absolutely outrageous. So we're recording this on the Friday that it's been announced that Morgan Gibbs-White and Nuno have been given disciplinary action after the Brighton game. So you probably all saw what happened there. Morgan stood in for a tackle, never a yellow card, gets the ball, goes out for a throw, which should have been. The referee initially comes over, does this, said that he got the ball. Obviously, not going to be a yellow card. Then somebody chirps up in his ear and says, you need to send him off. So he gets a red card. Nuno goes ballistic and gets sent off. Morgan rightly goes ballistic. And it's actually been proven since this that an independent panel of referees, ex-players, managers have concluded that it wasn't a red card. It wasn't a second yellow. So there's your proof. Now, Fabian Hürzeler also got sent off. He's been fined £8,000. Nuno has been fined £50,000. And Morgan £20,000 for doing the same thing. In the brief it says the same thing. And Wayne Rooney has also been given a charge today from the FA, and I'll read you the two statements.
I think this is the most in-depth he's spoken of today. He's going off.
So this is Nuno's this is the statement. It says it was alleged that Nottingham Forest head coach Nuno Espirito Santo acted in an improper manner and or used abusive and or insulting words towards a match official. So he was banned for 2 games, but it turns into 3 because he had a suspended one from Everton and fined £50,000. Okay. Wayne Rooney on the same day was given a fine for. It was alleged that the manager's conduct around the 87th minute was improper and or he used abusive and or insulting words towards a match official, which led to his dismissal. That sounds very similar to me. He's been fined £5,000 and been given a 1 match
I'm
ban.
going to say and or one more time.
And or?
And or?
They need to get fired. So they must. I don't want to start conspiracy theories here, but there has to be something against Forest because they've also now banned our owner from his own stadium. So Marinakis, can we be serious here? Marinakis is not allowed to be in his own stadium for 5 games just because he approached the referee after the Fulham game. So they need to be consistent here. I know it's the Championship and there's less scrutiny on it, but how has Rooney got a 10th of a fine and half a ban than what Nuno has got? It's absolutely ridiculous. And Hürzeler has clearly said something that's got him sent off, and he's not been given a touchline ban and been fined £8,000. They have it in for us at the minute. It's because we are trying to stand up for ourselves. This tweet, they tried to fine us £1 million for a tweet that we put out stating facts about the fact that the PGMOL were wrong, and we warned them that the referee was a Luton fan. They tried to fine us £1 million. Where's the camera? £1 million for it. Okay. Racism. There was that Gillingham thing last year. £12,000 got fined. They need to bring it into perspective, and they need to get a grip of themselves.
Yeah,
I don't know if
do.
anyone else has any thoughts, so I'll hand it over to the
Which
group,
one?
but
You've
that's
given us
an
4
individual.
separate stories there.
Different.
Take what you want.
Anyone want to go first?
What can you say after that?
Yeah.
He's done it all.
Well, do you? Obviously, this is a biased standpoint. So
Really?
do you think that I am unreasonable, or do you think the FA are a bit unreasonable, or is there a bit of both?
I agree with you on 3 of the 4. The one that I would say is that probably does
Owner.
deserve a ban is the owner, yeah, because I think the stadium. But I agree, like a stadium ban specifically is obviously really odd because it is his
He owns the
I
stadium,
don't
yeah.
get that. So maybe like away matches or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
Can you imagine? He's just locked the door. He's not coming
like,
in.
managers get sent off, but like the punishment they're given to Rooney, the punishment they're given to Hürzeler, that's roughly what you'd expect,
Yeah.
right? It would be a fine, maybe a match ban, and you call it that. Like as it would be if a player does it, right?
Yeah.
If a player gets in the referee's face, they get sent off, they get 1 match ban. That's not a 3 match ban for doing that. But with an owner, I think there is kind of a boundary, like there's the people who are on the pitch and there's the people who aren't on the pitch. And I think for an owner to, you said approach a referee, you kind of charge the referee if we're being like slightly more accurate. Then yeah, I think maybe 5 games is a bit much, and as you said, stadium ban is a very odd thing because they're home from its own stadium. Yeah, but I do think with that I can understand, I can at least understand the severity of the punishment because I think you have to set quite a strong precedent with that. But yeah, everything else is ridiculous, especially the referee one from last season with Everton,
100%.
because they've since said that they're now going to give they will at some point publish the teams that they support.
Yeah.
So they agree with you.
Yeah.
And they find you.
And clearly, not directly, but that must have came to an extent from the tweet that Forest put out. So clearly it's been, obviously there's a tone to it that was quite angry, and you expect, I mean, coaches come out and say I might be fined and get fined.
Yeah.
But we've been fined 750k, but in the report it said they tried to fine us over £1 million
for a tweet.
Yeah,
that's ridiculous.
Surely there is bigger issues in football.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Racism, equality, anything like that. Maybe
but
slightly
a
more
tweet
important.
over £1 million. It's outrageous.
Yeah,
Anyone else have anything to add?
I can't really disagree with you. What you're saying is right.
Thank you.
It's for a tweet trying to find someone £1 million is ridiculous.
And it was a 3-paragraph tweet as well. It's outrageous. The most annoying thing about it was
3
we were
paragraphs
crap on the day and didn't actually deserve to win, but we definitely should have had
at least 2
at
penalties.
least 2.
Yeah.
And we'd have definitely missed them, but that's not the point. Anyway, Jordan and Axel, after your first episode, have you enjoyed it?
I've enjoyed it very much. It's been good to listen to everyone's decisions and see what everyone thinks of England.
Axel, are you going to be back?
Yeah, I've enjoyed it a lot. I enjoyed beating you at the quiz. Thank you.
Yeah, it wasn't you. It wasn't you.
It was a group effort. I answered some questions.
Oh yes.
You picked the wrong person. Sorry, but yeah, no, I've enjoyed it very much. Hopefully, the first of many, and can't wait to be back.
Nice one, mate. And we'll stick Ellie back in the gallery because it's
Well,
about time. But thank you for watching. If you like the video, make sure you give it a like. Make sure you hit the subscribe button so you can see all of our videos, and hit that notification button to be notified when we upload. We'll be back for another press box very soon. But until then, have a good life, and we'll see you soon. I don't know why I said have a good life.
Have a good life.
Have a good life.
Like they're gonna die.
Oh my god. Have a good life.